Good morning, my dear students. In this session, we are going to discuss about introduction to entomology. Entomology, it is a Greek word. Entomon mean insect, logos mean study. That is, scientific study of the insect is the entomology. The term insect comes from the Latin word insectum. It means the insect body is divided into three sections, that is head, thorax and abdomen. Then what do you mean by insect? See here, any organism in which body is divided into head, thorax and abdomen possesses two pairs of wings and three pairs of legs. Such organism is known as insect. Then what do you mean by pest? Any organism which is noxious, destructive or troublesome to man or his interest is the pest. Examples are insects, rat, mites, weeds, etc. On this earth, man originated about a million years ago, but insects came into the existence 350 to 500 million years ago. Arthropods are originated during Cambrian period of Paleozoic era. Insects are originated during Devonian period of Paleozoic era. The earliest known fossil insect is Raniella precursor. It is a columbolan insect from the Devonian period. Insects belong to kingdom Animalia, phylum Arthropoda, and class Insecta. And class Insecta is the largest of the whole living organism, and it constitutes 72% of all living animals. Thank you. In the next session, we are going to discuss about body organization in insects. Good morning, my dear students. In this session, we are going to discuss about insect body organization. Insect body organization refers to the structural arrangement of an insect's body parts. See here body segmentation in insect. Insect body generally contain 20 segments. That is, head contain 6 segments, thorax contain 3 segments, and abdomen contains 11 segments. Insect body is differentiated into 3 regions, that is head region, thoracic region and abdominal region. Each region is also known as tagmata, that is head tagmata, thoracic tagmata and abdominal tagmata. Each tagmata is composed of group of segment, that is 6 segments in the head, 3 segments in the thorax and 9 to 11 segment in the abdomen. That is, grouping a body segment into a distinct region is known as tagmosis. The arrangement of the body segment in the embryonic stage is known as primary segmentation, while in adult insect is known as secondary segmentation. See here the structure of insect head. Insect head, it is the anterior most stigmata of the insect body. Head capsule is sclerotized and articulated with the appendages antenna, such as antenna, eyes, and mouth parts. Head capsule without appendages and with only sclerite is known as cranium. Head capsule, it is made up of 6 segments, that is 1 ocular segment, antennal segment, intercalary segment, mandibular segment, maxillary segment, and labial segment, and provided with the following appendages, that is eyes, antenna, and mouth parts. Then what is the function of the head in insect? Head, it is mainly concerned with the feeding and sensory perception. See here the sclerites and suture of insect head. In the insect head or insect head capsule is formed by the union of several number of cuticular plates, that is labrum, clypeus, frans. Frans is the largest sclerite of the insect head, next vertex, next ocular sclerite, antennal sclerite, occiput, and post-occiput. All these sclerites are commonly form a head capsule. That is, head capsule is formed by the union of number of cuticular plates are known as sclerites. These sclerites are joined together by means of cuticular line or ridges are known as suture. See here, suture of insect head. The cuticular plates are joined together. The cuticular plates are joined together by means of cuticular lines or ridges are known as the suture. See here the different suture. This is the clypeolabral suture, next epistomal suture, next antennal suture, genal suture, ocular suture, and epicranial suture. Epicranial suture is also known as line of weakness or ecdysial suture because the exuvial membrane split along this suture during the process of molting or ecdysis. See here, this is the post-occipital suture, and this is the only real suture of insect head. It's so called because it separates insect head from the neck. See here the types of insect head. Based on the bending or inclination of long axis of the head and orientation of the mouth parts, there are 3 different types of insect heads, that is hypognathous head, prognathous head, and opistognathous head. See first about hypognathous head. Hypo means below, gnatha means jaw. Here the mouth parts are directed in downward direction. This is also known as orthopterate type of head. Here the long axis of the head is vertical. Long axis of the head is vertical and it is at right angle to the long axis of the body. In this case, the mouth parts are ventrally placed and projected downward. This type of head is found in grasshopper, locust, and cockroach. Next, prognathous head. Pro means front, gnatha means jaw. Here, the mouth parts are directed in forward direction. This is also known as coleopterate type of head. Here the long axis of the head is horizontal and in line with the long axis of the body. Mouth parts are directed in forward direction, and this type of head is found in beetles and weevils. Next, Opisthognathus head. Opistho means behind or back. Gnatha means jaw. Here, the mouth parts are directed in back side direction or in backward direction. This is also known as hemipterate type or opisthodrhynchus type of head. Here, head is deflexed and mouth parts are directed backward and held in between the forelegs. See, the mouth parts are directed in the backward direction, present in between the forelegs. This type of head is found in stink bug and red cotton bugs. That's why this type of head are known as hemipterate type of head or opisthodrhynchus type of head. Next, what do you mean by procephalon and gnathocephalon? See here oral cavity. Preoral region is known as procephalon. Post-oral region is known as gnathocephalon. Thank you. In the next session, we will discuss about insect neck, thorax and its appendages, abdomen and its appendages.
Good morning, my dear friends. In this session, we are going to discuss about insect neck or cervix, thorax and its appendages, abdomen and its appendages. Let's see about neck or cervix. In insect, head is connected to the thorax by means of a membranous region. See, this is the membranous region is known as neck or cervix. In insect, head is connected to the thorax by means of a membranous region is known as neck or cervix. This membranous region is quite flexible and allows the free movement of the insect head. Let's see about thorax. It is the insect head and it is the insect abdomen. The region which is present in between the insect head and abdomen is known as thoracic region. Insect thorax is the second or middle stigmata and highly musculated due to the presence of bases of wings and legs in them. The three segments of insect thorax are: first segment is prothorax, second segment is mesothorax, and third segment is metathorax. See here also, the first segment is prothorax, second segment is mesothorax, and the last segment is metathorax. Each thoracic segment contains a dorsal scleroid is known as tergum or notum. Lateral scleroid is known as pleuron, and ventral scleroid is known as sternum. See here also, dorsal scleroid is known as notum or tergum. Lateral scleroid is the pleuron, and the ventral scleroid is the sternum. See the appendages associated with the thorax. Insect contains two pairs of wings. First pair, that is forewing, second pair, that is hand wing, on meso and metathorax. Due to the presence of wings on meso and metathorax, these thoracic segments are commonly known as pterothoracic segments. Insects also contain three pairs of legs on each thoracic segment, that is, on prothorax, foreleg, on mesothorax, midleg, and on metathorax, hind leg. In addition to the wings and legs on thorax, two pairs of spiracles are also there on the pleuron of meso and metathorax. The spiracles are the organ of respiration through which air is entered into the insect body. Due to the presence of wings and three pairs of legs in insect in this region is mainly concerned with the locomotion. Let's see about abdomen. This is the abdominal region in insect. Abdomen is the third and posterior most stigmata of the insect body. It is made up of 9 to 11 segments. And this region is highly flexible, and this flexibility is most important and required for copulation and oviposition purpose. Each abdominal segment is made up of only two sclerae, that is the dorsal sclerae is the tergum or notum, and the ventral sclerae is the sternum. There is no pleuron in the abdominal region of the insect. Hence, the spiracles are located on dorsolaterally extended portion of the tergum. This is the extended portion of the tergum. On this, the spiracles are locating. In grasshopper, 8 pairs of spiracles are present in the first 8 abdominal segment, in addition to a pair of tympanum in the first abdominal segment. See, this is the tympanum present on the first abdominal segment. This is the auditory organ, helps in hearing in insects. Now see about abdominal appendages. Abdominal appendages in adult insects are genital organs and cerci. In male insect, the genital organs are located on ninth abdominal segment. In female insect, the genital organs are located on 8th and ninth abdominal segment. See, this is the cerci. A pair of cerci is associated with the 11th abdominal segment, and it is concerned with the sensory sensation. It is sensory. Cerci is sensory in function. Due to the presence of genital organs on the abdomen and a different system inside the abdomen, this region is mainly concerned with the reproduction and metabolism. See here the abdominal spiracles in catchidid or grasshopper. These are the spiracles. Organs of respiration through which the air is entered into the insect body. Now we are going to see female genital structure clearly. Female genital structures are located on the 8th and ninth abdominal segment of insect on the ventral side. The female genital structure or ovipositor contains three valves or valvulae, three pairs of valves or valvulae. See here, this is the first pair of valve, this is the second pair of valve, and this is the third pair of valve. Actually, from base of the 8th segment, valve for 1 will be originated, and this valve for 1 gives a pair of valvulae. First pair of valvulae. Similarly, from the base of the 9th abdominal segment, valvi for 2 will be generated and it gives off a pair of each valvulae 2 and valvulae 3. See here also in vertical section, this is the first pair of valvulae, these are the second pair of valvulae and these are the third pair of valvulae. Now we are going to see male genital structure. It is known as adigus also. This is the adigus of click beetle. This is the click beetle. It is belong to the order Coleoptera and the family Elateridae. The whole copulatory organ of higher insects, generally known as adigus. This adigus helps in insemination. In addition to the insemination, it's also helping clasping and providing sensory stimulation to the female insect. This adigas contain a median tubular penis, and this penis contain internally a inner tube is known as endophallus. This endophallus is aorted during the insemination. The ejaculatory duct which opens either at the tip of the penis or endophallus and ejaculate or release sperm into them. Lateral side to the penis are a pair of lobes known as the paramus. These paramus help in clasping as well as providing sensory stimulation to the female insects. See here, this is the ninth abdominal segment of brazil child and their reproductive organs. Thank you. In the next session, we are going to discuss about abdominal appendages in wingless insects, immature winged insects, and adult insects.
Good morning, my dear students. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about insect body organization, that is, structural arrangement of an insect body parts. We have discussed that insect consisting of three regions, that is head region, thoracic region, and abdominal region. Head region is the six-segmented part and it consisting of compound eyes, simple eyes, antenna and mouth parts are as appendages. Thorax region is the middle region and it consisting of two pairs of wings in the mesothorax and metathorax, a pair in each segment, and three pairs of the legs in all the three thoracic segments. We have already discussed about the abdomen contains 9 to 11 segments. 9 to 11 segment. Now we are going to discuss about abdominal appendages in wingless insects, immature stages of winged insects, and adult insects. See here I have listed abdominal appendages in wingless insects. These appendages are generally pre-genital, mean they are present before the genital organ. See here the list of the abdominal appendages in wingless insect, that is style, colophore or ventral tube or glue peg, retinaculum or tenaculum or catch, furcula or furca. In the next category, you see abdominal appendages in immature stages of winged insect, that is, in the larval stages of winged insects. Abdominal appendages in immature stages of winged insect includes anal papillae, tracheal gills, dolichastus, prolegs. In the next category, we are going to discuss about abdominal appendages in winged adults includes cornicles, caudal breathing tube, cerci, median caudal filament, pygostyle, anal style, ovipositor, and male genital organ in male insect. So first we are going to discuss about here abdominal appendages in wingless insects. I already told you that these appendages, these attaching structures are pregenital. Pregenital mean they are present before the genital organ. These appendages include styli in silverfish, colophore or ventral tube or glue peg on first abdominal segment of columbola, retinaculum or tinaculum or catch on third abdominal segment of columbola, furcula or furca on the fourth abdominal segment of the columbola. Let's see one by one by seeing their images. Styli. See here, these are the styli. This is the another styli. Varying number of paired tubular structures. Varying number of paired tubular structures found on the ventral side of the abdomen of silverfish are known as styli. These are the paired tubular structures which are present on the ventral side of the abdomen of the silverfish. So, generally these are the reduced legs, reduced abdominal legs. See, these are the thoracic legs, 3 pairs, and these are the reduced abdominal legs, and they help in locomotion. Next, abdominal appendages is colophore. See here, red colored colophore or ventral tube or glue peg. This is the structure. This is the cylindrical structure present on the ventral side of the first abdominal segment of silverfish, and it is protruded out by the hydrostatic pressure of hemolymph, and it acts as organ of adhesion, that is attachment. It also helps in absorption of water from the substratum and also help in respiration. This is all about colophore. Colophore, it is located on the ventral side of the first abdominal segment. See, this is the first abdomen. These all are thoracic segments. This is the first abdominal segment. So, in the first abdominal segment, on the ventral side, a cylindrical tube-like structure is there. It is known as colophore or ventral tube or glue peg. Next, retinaculum or tinaculum or catch. See, this is the retinaculum or catch. It is present on the ventral side of the third abdominal segment. In second abdominal segment, there is no appendage. In third abdominal segment, on the ventral side, retinaculum or catch is present. What is the use of retinaculum or catch? It is actually useful to hold the springing organ. So this furcula or furca is a springing organ in springtail. So when it is not in the use, this retinaculum or tinaculum holds it. So it is useful to hold the springing organ when not in its use. Next, we are going to discuss about furcula or furca or springing organ. It is a Y-shaped organ. It is present on the ventral side of the fourth abdominal segment. It is present on the ventral side of the fourth abdominal segment when it is released from the catch. When it is not in the use, this is held by the retinaculum or tinaculum or catch we already discussed. But when it is released from the catch, it exerts a force against the substratum and help in propelling up insect or jumping up insect in the air. So that's why we are calling it as springing organ or jumping organ or furcula. Next, we are going to discuss about abdominal appendages in immature stages, that is larval stages of winged insects. This category includes anal papillae in mosquito larvae, tracheal gills in needs of odonata and ephemeroptera, dolichostre in antlion grub, prolegs in caterpillars, loopers, and semiloopers. See anal papillae, a group of four papillae. See here, a group of four papillae is present surrounding to the anus. In case of mosquito larvae are known as anal papillae. And these papillae are concerned with the salt regulation. That's mean they maintain the ionic balance and facilitate other metabolic activity effectively. Next, tracheal gills. These gills are the outgrowth of the body wall which are richly supplied with the trachea, that is respiratory tubes. That's why we are calling them as tracheal gills. And these gills obtain the oxygen from the water in the aquatic insects, that is needs of mayfly and dragonfly. See, lateral gills. Lateral gills are present in the needs of mayfly. These are seven pair in number. Next, caudal gills we can see in the needs of dragonfly. These are the leaf-like structure present at the caudal end. Next, rectal gills are present in needs of dragonfly, and these gills are retained within the abdomen in pouch-like structures. That's why we are calling these gills are rectal gills. Next, dolichostre. This is the antlion grub, and this is the antlion adult. This is the antlion pit. So, dolichostres, these are the tube-like structure. These are the segmental tube-like structure found on the ventral side of the body in case of antlion grub. These are the segmental protuberance which are provided or fringed with the setae. So dolichostre present in antlion grubs. These are the segmental tube-like structure and which are fringed with the setae. Next, proleg. See, this is the caterpillar. This caterpillar consisting of three pairs of thoracic legs, and these legs are known as true legs. And it consisting of varying number of, that is 2 to 5 pairs of prolegs. 2 to 5 pairs of prolegs.
So these are the abdominal legs. We are calling these legs as prolegs or pseudo legs. Prolegs or pseudo legs. Thoracic legs are known as true legs. Abdominal legs are known as prolegs or pseudo legs. So these are present in the looper, semilooper, and the larvae of moth, butterfly, and sawfly. These are present. These prolegs or pseudolegs are generally present 2 to 5 pairs. These are the unsegmented, thick and fleshy structures. Unsegmented, thick and fleshy structures, and the tip of these prolegs are known as planta. These planta are provided with the heavily sclerotized. These planta are provided with the heavily sclerotized hook-like structure are known as crotchets, and these crotchets aids in crawling and clinging onto the surface of the plant. So these crotchets are absent in softfly larvae. That's why the softfly larvae fell down easily when we will touch them.
Now you see abdominal appendages in winged adults includes cornicles, caudal breathing tube, cerci, median caudal filament, pygostyle, anal style, ovipositor, and male genitalia or male genital organ. Let's see first about cornicles. See in this image, these are the tube-like structures. These short tube-like structures which projecting from the dorsal side of the fifth or sixth abdominal segment of the aphids are known as cornicles. They are also known as siphonculi. They secretes waxy fluid and it serves as for the protection against the predator. Next, caudal breathing tube. This is the caudal breathing tube. It is present in water scorpion. Here, two grooved filaments closely applied to each other and forming a tube-like structure that help in breathing. Here, the tube extend above the water surface and allow the insect to access the atmospheric air while the insects being submerged. Next, cerci. These are the most conspicuous appendages associated with the 11th abdominal segment. These structures are sensory in function and exhibit wide diversity and form. See here, sclerotized or forceps-like cerci is there in airwig. Long and many segmented cerci is there in mayfly. Long and unsegmented cerci is there in cricket. Short and many segmented cerci. Short and many segmented cerci are there in cockroach. Short and unsegmented cerci are there in grasshopper, and asymmetrical cerci is there in male embed. One cerci is longer and another cerci is shorter. Next, a median caudal filament. In mayfly, the epiproct, that is, the topmost portion of 11th abdominal segment, is elongated into a serves like a median caudal filament, and these structures play various roles such as sensory perception, maintaining the balance, and propulsion in water. Next, pygostyle. See, a pair of pygostyle or a pair of unsegmented cerci-like structures are found in the last abdominal segment of squalid wasp. This structure is thought to play a role in enhancing flight stability and efficiency of the squalid wasp. We can also see pygostyles in hymenopteran wasps. Next, anal style, a pair of short unsegmented structures. See here, a pair of short unsegmented structures which are associated with the end of the abdomen of the cockroach, that is male cockroach, are known as anal styli. These anal styli are useful to hold the female cockroach during their copulation with the male. Ovipositor, the egg-laying organ found in the female insect, is known as ovipositor. This ovipositor is suited to lay eggs in precise microhabitat, and they also exhibit wide diversity and form. See here, long and sword-like ovipositor is there in Catchidid, long and in long-horned grasshopper also we can see a long and sword-like ovipositor. Needle-like ovipositor is there in cricket. Sting-like ovipositor is there in worker honeybee. Next, pseudo-ovipositor. It is so called pseudo-ovipositor because here an appendicular ovipositor is absent in case of fruit fly and houseflies. See here, in fruit flies, the elongated abdomen is terminate into a sharp pointed structure which, with which the fly pierces the rind of the fruit and lays eggs. In houseflies, the terminal abdominal segments are telescopic, and these telescopic segments are used or which aid in the oviposition. The ovipositor of housefly is called as pseudo-ovipositor or ovitubes or oviscapt. Next, male genitalia, external sexual organ of male insect. External sexual organ of male insect confined to the ventral side of the ninth abdominal segment are the male genitalia. But in case of damselfly, the copulatory, the functional copulatory male organ is present on the ventral side of the second abdominal segment. Next, see some modification. We can see a reduced number of abdominal segment in many insects. For example, in springtail we can see only 6 abdominal segments. In case of houseflies, 2 to 5 segments, that is 2 to 5 abdominal segments are clearly visible, and 6 to 9 segments are telescoped within other. In ants, bees, and wasps, the first abdominal segment which is fused with the metathorax is known as propodium. The second abdominal segment is known as petiole, and rest of the abdomen is known as gaster. Thank you.
Good morning, my dear friends. In this session, we are going to discuss about insect body wall. Insect body wall is the external covering of the body, which is also known as integument or exoskeleton, and which is ectodermal in origin. See the structure of insect body wall. Insect body wall consisting of outer non-cellular layer, that is the cuticle, middle cellular layer, that is the epidermis, and inner non-cellular layer is the basement membrane. See here in the picture, here I have drawn cross section of insect body wall. This is the outermost non-cellular layer, cuticle. Below the cuticle, this is green color one is the middle cellular layer, that is the epidermis. Below the epidermis, the purple color layer is the basement membrane. See here, same. It is the vertical section of the body wall. This is from here to here. This is the non-cellular cuticle. Below the cuticle, this is the cellular epidermis, and below the epidermis, there is a non-cellular basement membrane. So, body wall consisting of outer non-cellular cuticle, middle cellular epidermis, and inner non-cellular basement membrane. Now see composition of the cuticle. Cuticle is composed of chitin, arthropodin, sclerotin, and resin. Then what is the chitin? Chitin, it is the main constituent of the cuticle, which is nitrogenous polysaccharide and polymer of N-acetylglucosamine. Chitin, which is water insoluble but soluble in dilute acids, alkalis, and organic solvents. Then what is arthropodin? Arthropodin, it is an untanned protein which is water soluble. Then what is sclerotin? Sclerotin is a tanned protein which is water insoluble. Then what is resin? Resin, an elastic protein which is responsible for the flexibility of the wing sclerites. So cuticle is composed of chitin, arthropodin, sclerotin, and resin. I already told you that cuticle is composed of three sublayer. They are, this is the cuticle. It is composed of three layers, that is outer epicuticle, middle exocuticle, and inner endocuticle. See here also, from here to here, this is the cuticle. This cuticle is subdivided into three layers. They are topmost, this is dark brown line is the epicuticle, light brown line is the exocuticle, and this is colorless line is the endocuticle. So cuticle is composed of epicuticle, exocuticle, and endocuticle. Epicuticle is non-chitinous. There is no chitin in epicuticle. Exocuticle is composed of sclerotin and chitin. Endocuticle is lighter in color and composed of arthropodin and chitin. Exocuticle, this exocuticle and endocuticle. Exocuticle and endocuticle are combinedly known as procuticle. So now we are going to discuss all the three layers of the cuticles. They are epicuticle, exocuticle, and endocuticle. We are going to discuss first about epicuticle. Epicuticle, this is the outermost layer. Epicuticle, see this is dark brown line. Epicuticle, this is the outermost layer of the cuticle and which is very thin. Pore canal present in exocuticle secrete or deposit the epicuticle. This epicutical layer is again differentiated into following five layers. They are The first and topmost layer is the cement layer, second wax layer, third cuticle layer, fourth outer epicuticle, and fifth inner epicuticle. What is the function of cement layer? Cement layer, see here, it is formed by lipid and tanned protein, and it protects the wax layer which is present just below to it. Then what is the role of wax layer? Wax layer, it contains closely packed wax molecule. See, these are the wax molecules and which prevent the desiccation, which prevent the insect from desiccation. It avoids the water loss from the insect body. Next, third one is the cuticle layer. Cuticle layer is the non-chitinous polymerized lipoprotein layer. Fourth one is the outer epicuticle. It makes the contact with the cuticle layer. Fifth one is the inner epicuticle. It contains wax filament. See, this is the epicuticle. It's again differentiated into 5 layers. They are cement layer, wax layer, cuticle layer, outer epicuticle, and inner epicuticle. So now we have completed about epicuticle. Now we are going to discuss about exocuticle. Exocuticle, it is the middle layer of the cuticle that is present in between the epicuticle and endocuticle, which is much thicker and composed of chitin and sclerotin. This exocuticle layer is dark in color and very rigid. Next, we are going to discuss about this endocuticle layer of the cuticle. Endocuticle, this is the innermost layer of the cuticle. This layer is made up of chitin and arthropodin. This layer is colorless, soft, and flexible. I already told you that exocuticle and endocuticle is commonly known as procuticle. So in this slide we have discussed about cuticular part, that is about epicuticle, exocuticle, and endocuticle. Below the cuticle, see here epidermal layer is there. In the next slide we are going to discuss about epidermis. See, we are going to discuss about this layer now. Epidermis or hypodermis. It is called hypodermis because it present just below the cuticular layer. Hypo mean below. It present below the cuticular layer, then that's why we calling it as hypodermis or epidermis. It is present just above the basement membrane. That's why we calling it as epidermis. Epidermis, it is a single cellular layer which present in between the cuticle and basement membrane. The adjacent cells of the epidermis are held together by cytoplasmic process. See the cytoplasmic process. The adjacent cells of the epidermis are held together by cytoplasmic process known as desmosomes. All the epidermal cells are glandular and secrete cuticle and different enzymes. The epidermal cells are differentiated into following type based on the functions they perform. For suppose, consider this is dermal gland. This dermal gland produce cement layer, trichogen cell. This is the trichogen cell. Trichogen cells produce hair-like setae. See here, it is producing hair-like setae or trichomes. For suppose, consider this is the molting gland which secrete molting fluid. For suppose it is consider peristigmatic gland which is present around the spiracle in case of dipteran larvae and which are hydrophobic in nature. Then what is the function of this epidermal layer? Epidermal layer secrete this topmost cuticle layer. This epidermal layer or epidermis digests and absorbs the old cuticle during the process of molting. Epidermis help in wound repairing in insect and gives surface look to the insect. We have completed about cuticle and its different layers: epicuticle, exocuticle, endocuticle, and we also completed about epidermal layer. Now we are going to discuss about basement membrane. Basement membrane is the lowest or lowermost layer of the insect body wall. It is amorphous, granular, and neutral mucopolysaccharide layer. Neutral mucopolysaccharide layer of thickness is 0.5 microns and it lies just below the epidermis and it forms a continuous sheet similar to that of neural lamella. Then what is endoskeleton? See, this is the epidermal layer. See, this is the cuticular layer. This is the epidermal layer. Below this basement membrane is there. We are seeing here cuticular ingrowth. Here also we are seeing that cuticular ingrowth. So, cuticular ingrowth of the body wall, which provide space for muscle attachment, is known as endoskeleton. Endoskeleton, it is of two types, that is epidermis and apophysis. Hollow invagination of body wall is known as epidermis and solid invagination of the body wall is known as apophysis. What is the function of the body wall? Body wall act as external armor and provide strength to the external organs. It protects the organs against physical abrasion, injurious chemicals, parasites, predators, and pathogens. Internally, it protects all the vital organs such as digestive system, reproductive system, respiratory system, and nervous system. Body wall, it provides space for muscle attachment and gives shape to the body. Body wall, it prevents the water loss from the insect body. Over the insect body, several cuticular sensory organs are there which help in sensing the surrounding environment. Cuticular pigment gives color to the insect body. These are the functions of insect body wall. Now we are going to discuss about cuticular appendages. Cuticular appendages are of two types. They are non-cellular cuticular appendages and cellular cuticular appendages. Non-cellular cuticular appendages have no epidermal association but which are rigidly attached to the body wall. Example for this are minute hairs and thorns. Cuticular appendages, cellular cuticular appendages have epidermal association and which are again two types, unicellular and multicellular. See here, unicellular cuticular appendages are clothing hairs, plumose hairs in honeybees, bristles in flies, scales in moths and butterflies, glandular setae in caterpillars, sensory setae in most of the insects, seta also in most of the insects. Seta, it is a, see here, seta, it is a hair-like outgrowth. Epidermal cells which produce seta is known as trichogen cell. The socket which form house for trichogen cell is known as termogen. Study of arrangement of seta is known as ketotaxy. Ketotaxy. So now we are going to discuss about multicellular cuticular appendages. They are movable spurs and immovable spines. Now I am going to show you images for all these unicellular and multicellular cuticular appendages. See, clothing hairs and plumose hairs are present in honeybees. See the hairs. Bristles, it is a unicellular cuticular appendages present in flies. Scales, flattened outgrowth of the body wall present in moths and butterflies. Glandular setae, it is present in caterpillars. Sensory setae, which is present in most of the insect, which is associated with the sensory neurons. Seta, hair-like outgrowth in most of the insects. See here, it is also one of the unicellular cuticular appendage. Now we are going to see multicellular cuticular appendages are spurs. These are the spurs which are movable structure. Spines, these are the spines which are immovable structures. Insect body wall not only associated with the cuticular appendages, it also possesses some glands. Cuticular glands are either unicellular or multicellular. Following are the some of the example. Wax gland present in honeybees and mealybugs. Lac gland is present in lac insect. A molting gland is present in most of the insect which help in the secretion of the molting fluid. Androconia gland or scent cell. Scent cells are present in moths. Poison glands are present in slug caterpillar. See the images. Wax gland of the honeybees here, and mealybug also possess wax gland. See the lac glands in lac insects. Molting gland present in most of the insect help in the secretion of the molting fluid. Androconia gland present in moths. Poison glands present in slug caterpillars. Thank you.
Good morning, my dear students. In this session, we are discussing about molting in insect. Molting, it is also known as ecdysis. See here, this is the insect body wall. We already discussed about insect body wall in previous lecture. Insect body wall consisting of three layers, that is cuticle, epidermis, and basement membrane. Cuticle is again divided into three layers, that is one epicuticle, second one exocuticle, and third one is endocuticle. Knowledge about insect body wall is must in order to understand a molting process in insect. See, then what do you mean by molting? See here, silkworm larva discarding its old cuticle and it's developed new cuticle. Here also, see in this cockroach, the cockroach discarded its old cuticle and it's developed a new cuticle. Therefore, periodical process of shedding the old cuticle accompanied by the formation of the new cuticle is known as molting or ecdysis. The cuticular part discarded during molting is known as exuviae. Okay, and molting occurs many times in insect during its immature stage before it attains the adult stage. Next, see here, this is the silkworm larva. After hatching, first instar will come. This, pus- this first instar undergoes first time molting and gives second instar. Second instar undergoes second time molting and gives third instar. Third instar undergoes third time molting and gives fourth instar. Fourth instar undergoes fourth time molting and gives fifth instar. See here also, here it is the egg. Egg after hatching it gives first instar. First instar undergoes first time molting and gives second instar. Second instar undergoes second time molting and gives third instar, and so on. See here, this is a one time molting, this is another time molting. So the time interval between two subsequent molting, the time interval between two subsequent molting is known as stadium. And the form assumed by the insect in any stadium, this is the form assumed by the insect. The form assumed by the insect in any stadium is known as instar. Okay. Next, control of molting in insect. In insect, molting is controlled by the endocrine gland, like prothoracic gland. This is the prothoracic gland. This is the prothoracic gland. So, in insect, molting is controlled by the endocrine gland, like prothoracic gland. This gland secretes a molting hormone. See here the steps involved in the process of molting. First, see here, these are the neurosecretory cells. This neurosecretory cell secretes PHTH or brain hormone. PHTH is the prothoracicotropic hormone. This prothoracicotropic hormone activates prothoracic gland. Upon activation, this gland secretes molting hormone, that is 20-hydroxyl-ecdysone. 20-hydroxyl-ecdysone. This molting hormone activates the molting gland which is present in the epidermal layer. Molting gland, upon its activation, it secretes molting gel. Molting gland secretes molting gel. This molting gel during the course of time changed into the molting fluid, and this molting fluid contain activated chitinase and protease that digest old endocuticle and help in the molting of insect. See the steps involved in the process of molting in insect. The insect which undergoes molting, they show behavioral changes. See here, this is the image indicating molting pose in mulberry silkworm. So the following behavioral changes we can observe. Larvae stop feeding and it become inactive. They also show reduced movement, increased grooming, and they seeking out a safe and secluded location. These behavioral changes we can see. During the molting process, we can also observe changes in epidermis. Epidermal cell size. See, this is the epidermis. Here, epidermal cell size, cells activity, protein content, and enzyme content will increases. And here the cells divide mitotically and increases the tension, which result in the losing of cuticle from the epidermal layer. And these changes in epidermal process allows for the growth and regeneration of the new exoskeleton, that is the outer protective layer of the insect body. Next step is apolysis. See here, this cuticular layer is detached from the epidermal layer. It is nothing but apolysis. Due to mitotic division and increased tension in epidermal layer, cuticular layer will detach from the epidermal layer. This is known as apolysis. Due to the apolysis, a space is formed. The space is known as subcuticular space. In this space, molting glands secrete molting gel. which is rich in inactive chitinase and protease. After this, new epicuticle will form, the cuticular layer will be formed, and this cuticular layer protect the epidermal cell and newly forming cuticle from the digestion by the enzyme in the molting gel. Then after procuticle also forms, but here it is not differentiated into exo and endocuticle, it will be differentiated at the last. Next, after formation of protective epicuticle and procuticular layer, the molting gel is activated into molting fluid. Now, the chitinase and protease enzyme, which are present in the molting fluid, begin to digest the old endocuticle. See here, this light blue color portion is there now. This is the endocuticle. It is digested by the molting fluid. As much as 90% of the endocuticle is digested and reabsorbed by the epidermal cell to form procuticle. So this is reabsorbed. That endocuticle is reabsorbed by the epidermal cell to form new cuticle. Okay. The exocuticular layer. See, this is the exocuticular layer. Okay, it contain exocuticle plus epicuticle. The old exocuticular layer, which is resistant to enzyme action since it is highly sclerotized and eventually discarded. This is nothing but exuvial. After this, wax layer will be formed. Pore canals secrete the wax layer. The wax layer serves to reduce water loss and protect the insect from environmental stresses. Next, cement layer will be formed. Cement layer is secreted by the dermal glands, which are also present in the epidermal layer of the insect body wall. Sir, class జరుగుతుంది వస్తాం క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాయి. ఓకే ఓకే. Next process is molting. Wait for 1 minute. Next process is molting. This involves two steps, that is rupturing of the old cuticle and removal of the old cuticle. Rupturing of the old cuticle and removal of the old cuticle. For rupturing of the old cuticle take place through intake of air or water, which enhances the blood flow to the head and thoracic region. So this increased blood flow will rupture the old cuticle along predetermined line of the weakness known as ecdysial line. It will be ruptured at ecdysial line. Next, removal of old cuticle. After rupturing of the old cuticle, the peristaltic movement of the body, that is contraction and expansion and lubrication action of the molting fluid, will help in the removal of the old cuticle. See here, This peristaltic movement removed the old cuticle. During each molting, the cuticular covering of the body, legs, internal lining of the foregut, hindgut, and trachea are discarded. In the last development of exocuticle and endocuticle, I already told you that procuticle formed before only. Now the procuticle is differentiated into the two layers, that is exocuticle and endocuticle at the last. So the procuticle, which is the primary layer of the insect cuticle, which is developed into both exocuticle and endocuticle during the molting process. Exocuticle, it is formed from the outer region of the procuticle during the molting. It is typically harder and more sclerotized layer than endocuticle and provides structural support and protection to the insects. Endocuticle, this is the inner layer of the insect cuticle, and it's formed from the inner region of the procuticle, and it is generally softer and less sclerotized than the exocuticle and serve mainly as a flexible support layer. Like that, insect discard and develop new cuticle. So the periodical process of removing the old cuticle accompanied by the formation of the new cuticle is the molting in insect. Thank you. Good morning, my dear friends. Welcome you all to the today's presentation topic, metamorphosis in insects. Here see, यहाँ पे देखो, meta mean change, morph mean form, change in the form, that is post embryonic changes in the form of insect, collectively known as metamorphosis. Metamorphosis involves egg hatching, larval molting, pupal differentiation, and adult reproduction. इंसेक्ट में मेटामॉर्फोसिस एक मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट फिजियोलॉजिकल प्रोसेस होता है. मेटामॉर्फोसिस की वजह से इंसेक्ट उसका साइज में बड़ा हो सकता है, जैसा कि अडल्ट बनता है, अडल्ट बन के रिप्रोड्यूस करके एग दे सकता है. तो उसका पॉपुलेशन को मेंटेन करने के लिए इंसेक्ट में मेटामॉर्फोसिस होना कंपलसरी है. तो डिफरेंट इंसेक्ट्स आर्डर्स में डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ मेटामॉर्फोसिस होता है. तो अभी हम डिस्कस कर लेंगे डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ मेटामॉर्फोसिस वन बाय वन. तो फर्स्ट हम देखेंगे ए मेटामॉर्फोसिस. ये वर्ड ही इंडिकेट करता है कि देयर इज नो चेंजेस इन द फॉर्म ऑफ यंग वन एंड अडल्ट स्टेज ऑफ द इंसेक्ट. यहाँ पे देखो, ये है यंग स्टेजेस ऑफ सिल्वर फिश, ये है अडल्ट स्टेज ऑफ सिल्वर फिश. यहाँ पे देखो, यंग स्टेज और अडल्ट स्टेज का फॉर्म में कोई डिफरेंस दिख रहा है क्या? नहीं दिख रहा है. तो इसे ही बोलते हैं हम ए मेटामॉर्फोसिस. Post embryonically, when there is no changes in the form of young one and adult, is known as ametamorphosis. Ametamorphosis एटेरिगोट इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर में होता है, जैसा कि थाइजन्यूरा, प्रोच्यूरा, डाइप्लूरा एंड कोलम्बोला इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर्स में. इस ऑर्डर का इस इंसेक्ट का लाइफ साइकिल में ओनली 3 स्टेजेस होता है, जैसा कि एग, एंग वन स्टेज को हम यहाँ पे जुवाइनल बोलते हैं, एंड अडल्ट स्टेज। इसमें यंग वन स्टेज और अडल्ट स्टेज रिसेंबल होता है, कोई डिफरेंस नहीं होता है, ऑल रेस्पेक्ट में रिसेंबल होता है एक्सेप्ट फॉर देयर साइज। इसका साइज छोटा होता है, अडल्ट का साइज बड़ा होता है। ये है ए मेटामॉर्फोसिस। अभी हम देखेंगे हेमी मेटाबोला और हेमी मेटामॉर्फोसिस। पोस्ट एम्ब्रियोनिकली, when there is little change in the form of young one and adult is known as hemimetamorphosis। हेमीमेटामॉर्फोसिस को हम इनकम्प्लीट मेटामॉर्फोसिस भी बोलते हैं, क्योंकि यहाँ पे प्यूपल स्टेज एब्सेंट होने के कारण हम इसे इनकम्प्लीट मेटामॉर्फोसिस बोलते हैं। इनकम्प्लीट मेटामॉर्फोसिस और हेमी मेटामॉर्फोसिस एक्सोप्टेरिगोट इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर में होता है, जैसा कि ड्रैगन फ्लाई में, डैमसेल फ्लाई में, मे फ्लाई में। इन इंसेक्ट में इसका लाइफ साइकिल में 3 स्टेजेस ही होता है, जैसा कि एग स्टेज, यंग वन स्टेज। इसमें यंग वन स्टेज aquatic लाइफ को लीड करता है, इसे हम नीड्स बोलते हैं। एंड अडल्ट स्टेज, द यंग ones needs are different from the adult in the form, habit and habitat। जैसा कि इसका फॉर्म देखो और इसका फॉर्म देखो, इसमें डिफरेंस दिख रहा है। ये जो नीड है ये पानी में रहता है, ये जो अडल्ट है ये एरियल लाइफ लीड करता है। ये जो नीड है फिशेस के ऊपर प्रेडेशन करता है, ये जो अडल्ट है एरियल इंसेक्ट एंड वेजिटेशन के ऊपर जो इंसेक्ट होता है उसके ऊपर प्रेडेशन करता है। तो ये यंग वन एंड अडल्ट्स डिफर करता है फॉर्म में, हैबिट में एंड हैबिटेट में। अभी हम देखेंगे पारामेटाबोला और ग्रेजुअल मेटामॉर्फोसिस। ए ग्रेजुअल मेटामॉर्फोसिस हेमी मेटामॉर्फोसिस के जैसे ही होता है, लेकिन छोटा सा डिफरेंस है, वो हम देखेंगे। when there is little change in the form of young one and adults with gradual development of reproductive organ is known as parametabola or gradual metamorphosis। A gradual metamorphosis exopterygote इंसेक्ट आर्डर, हायर इंसेक्ट आर्डर्स में होता है, जैसा कि कॉकरोच में, ग्रास होपर में, बग्स में होता है। इस इंसेक्ट का लाइफ साइकिल में 3 स्टेजेस होता है, जैसा कि एग, यंग वन, इसमें यंग वन टेरेस्ट्रियल होता है, इसे हम निम्स बोलते हैं, एंड अडल्ट स्टेज। द यंग वन सिमिलर टू द अडल्ट इन द फॉर्म, हैबिट एंड हैबिटेट। देखो दोनों का फॉर्म भी सेम है, हैबिटेट एंड हैबिट भी सेम होता है। ए टेरेस्ट्रियल लाइफ लीड करती है, एट द सेम टाइम ग्रासेस के ऊपर खाता रहता है। अभी हम देखेंगे होलो मेटाबोला और कंप्लीट मेटामॉर्फोसिस। यहाँ पे देखो इंसेक्ट का एग है, उसके बाद लार्वा है, उसके बाद प्यूपा है, उसके बाद अडल्ट है। देखो ऑल स्टेजेस का फॉर्म में डिफरेंस है ना, वही बोलते हैं कि when there is complete change in the form of young ones and adult is known as holometamorphosis। होलोमेटामॉर्फोसिस को हम कंप्लीट मेटामॉर्फोसिस भी बोलते हैं, क्योंकि इसमें एक प्यूपल स्टेज होने के कारण हम इसे कंप्लीट मेटामॉर्फोसिस बोलते हैं। होलोमेटामॉर्फोसिस एंडोप्टेरिगोट इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर्स में होता है, जैसा कि बटरफ्लाई में, मॉथ में, फ्लाइज में एंड बीज में। इस इंसेक्ट का लाइफ साइकिल में 4 स्टेजेस होता है, जैसा कि एग, एंग वन को हम बोलते लार्वे, प्यूपा एंड अडल्ट। द एंग वन, that is larva, is different from the adult in the form, habit and habitat। देखो दोनों का फॉर्म में भी डिफरेंस है, एट द सेम टाइम इसका हैबिट एंड हैबिटेट में भी डिफरेंस होता है। जैसा कि ये वेजिटेशन के ऊपर खाता है, लार्वल स्टेज, अडल्ट फीड ही नहीं करता है, इंसेक्ट नहीं तो जो प्लांट का पोलेन है ना उसके ऊपर खाता है, पोलेन नेक्टर इसके ऊपर। लेकिन ये जो स्टेज है लार्वा स्टेज, लीव्स बॉल्स के ऊपर खाते हुए डिस्ट्रक्शन पहुंचाता है। मैं समझता हूं कि आप लोगों को मेटामॉर्फोसिस समझ में आया होगा तो आप एक क्वेश्चन का आंसर कर सकते हैं। तो आपके लिए फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन ये है, टाइप ऑफ मेटामॉर्फोसिस इन लेपिडोप्टेरा इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर। तो यहाँ पे देखो लेपिडोप्टेरा इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर यहाँ पे है, तो इसमें होता है होलोमेटामॉर्फोसिस। टाइप ऑफ मेटामॉर्फोसिस इन ओडोनाटा इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर। ओडोनाटा इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर देखो यहाँ पे है, तो इसमें होता है हेमी मेटामॉर्फोसिस। लास्ट क्वेश्चन है, टाइप ऑफ मेटामॉर्फोसिस इन थाइजेन्यूरा इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर। थाइजेन्यूरा इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर यहाँ पे है, इसमें होता है ए मेटामॉर्फोसिस। ये 3 क्वेश्चन का ही आंसर नहीं, आप आप लोग 28 इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर का मेटामॉर्फोसिस को बोल सकते हैं। आप लोगों को एक क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ इंसेक्ट चार्ट समझ में आया होगा। तो आप लोगों को क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ इंसेक्ट नहीं पता है तो आप लोग क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ इंसेक्ट ये चैप्टर देख सकते हैं। ये 4th लेक्चर है अपना यूट्यूब चैनल पे। अब ये लेक्चर और मेटामॉर्फोसिस लेक्चर देखने के वजह से इस 28 इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर में मेटामॉर्फोसिस कौन सा होता है बता सकते हैं। जैसा कि एटेरिगोट इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर 4 होता है, इस सभी चारों ऑर्डर में ए मेटामॉर्फोसिस होता है। एक्सोप्टेरिगोटा इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर 16 है, इस 16 में हेमी मेटामॉर्फोसिस होता है। एंडोप्टेरिगोट ऑर्डर्स 9 है, इस 9 ऑर्डर्स में होलो मेटामॉर्फोसिस होता है। इसके वजह से आप ए लेक्चर को भी देख सकते हो। सम अदर टाइप ऑफ मेटामॉर्फोसिस के बारे में देखेंगे, जैसा कि अनामेटामॉर्फोसिस और anamorphic development. Second one is epimorphic development. Third one is hypermetamorphosis and fourth one is intermediate metamorphosis। यहाँ पे देखो ए इंसेक्ट है प्रोच्यूरा, ए है मिलीपैड। जनरली पोस्ट एम्ब्रियोनिकली इंसेक्ट में नंबर ऑफ सेगमेंट फिक्स होता है। वो सेगमेंट का नंबर डिक्रीज भी नहीं होता है, इंक्रीज भी नहीं होता है, चाहे तो साइज में बड़ा हो सकता है। लेकिन जो हमारे इंसेक्ट है प्रोच्यूरा एंड मिलीपेड, इसमें नंबर ऑफ सेगमेंट घटते हैं या बढ़ते हैं, तो इसे ही बोलते हैं हम, इस काइंड ऑफ डेवलपमेंट को ही बोलते हैं हम अनामॉर्फोसिस डेवलपमेंट। यहाँ पे देखो, इट इज द डेवलपमेंट इन विच द इंसेक्ट बॉडी सेगमेंट नंबर is added or deleted after hatching, that is post embryonically। तो अनामॉर्फिक डेवलपमेंट किसमें होता है बोल के आपको क्वेश्चन आया तो आप लोग आंसर करना चाहिए प्रोच्यूरॉन एंड मिलीपेड्स। अभी हम देखेंगे एपिमॉर्फिक डेवलपमेंट। इट इज द डेवलपमेंट इन विच इंसेक्ट बॉडी नंबर इज फिक्स्ड बिफोर एंड आफ्टर हैचिंग। इसके लिए एग्जाम्पल है ऑल इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर एक्सेप्ट प्रोच्यूरा। अभी हम देखेंगे हाइपर मेटामॉर्फोसिस क्या होता है। इसके लिए एग्जांपल है ब्लिस्टर बेटल। ब्लिस्टर बेटल का लाइफ साइकिल देखो, यहाँ पे एक लार्वा है, ये है कंपोडिफॉर्म एक्टिव लार्वा है, एंड ये है स्कराबीफॉर्म स्लगिश लार्वा है। देखो, एक ही लाइफ साइकिल में दो काइंड्स ऑफ लार्वल स्टेजेस हैं, इसे ही हम बोलते हैं, ऐसा होने को ही हम बोलते हैं हाइपर मेटामॉर्फोसिस। देखो यहाँ पे प्रेजेंस ऑफ टू और मोर फॉर्म्स ऑफ लार्वल स्टेजेस इन द इंसेक्ट लाइफ साइकिल इज नोन एज हाइपर मेटामॉर्फोसिस। इसके लिए एग्जाम्पल है ब्लिस्टर बेटल एंड स्टाइलोपिड। जो फर्स्ट लार्वल स्टेज है ये एक्टिव होता है, इसे हम कंपोडिफॉर्म लार्वा बोल सकते हैं। सेकंड लार्वल स्टेज है ये स्लगिस होता है, एंड इसे हम स्कराबी फॉर्म लार्वे बोलते हैं। अभी लास्ट वाला है इंटरमीडिएट मेटामॉर्फोसिस। कोई कोई इंसेक्ट बेस्ड ऑन कंडीशन या तो कंप्लीट मेटामॉर्फोसिस होता है, नहीं तो इनकम्प्लीट मेटामॉर्फोसिस होते हैं। वैसा होने को ही हम बोलते हैं इंटरमीडिएट मेटामॉर्फोसिस। सम इंसेक्ट अंडरगोट metamorphosis that is intermediate between simple and complete metamorphosis is known as intermediate metamorphosis। तो intermediate metamorphosis व्हाइट फ्लाई में होता है, स्केल्स में होता है एंड थ्रिप्स में होता है। दिस इज ऑल अबाउट मेटामॉर्फोसिस। थैंक यू ऑल।
Good morning, my dear friends. In this session, we are going to discuss about structure and modification of insect legs and structure of male and female genitalia. Let's see about insect legs. See, this is the insect thoracic region. Insect thoracic region consisting of three segments, that is prothorax, mesothorax and metathorax. Each thoracic segment bears a pair of segmented legs. That is, prothoracic legs are known as foreleg, mesothoracic legs are known as midleg, and metathoracic legs are known as hind legs. Therefore, in almost all insects, all the three thoracic segments bears a pair of segmented legs. See, this is the individual leg. Each leg consisting of 5 segments. They are coxa, trochanter, femur, tibia, and tarsus. See, this is the coxa. This is the first segment of the insect leg, and it is freely movable. And this is the trochanter, that is the second segment of the insect leg, usually small and single segmented. And this is the insect leg femur. This is the largest and stoutest part of insect leg. This is the tibial part of insect leg. This is the strongest and longest part of insect leg, and which is provided with these spines and spurs. Tarsus. This is the last segment of the insect leg, and which is end in pretarsus. Then what do you mean by pretarsus? Beyond the tarsus, there are several structures are commonly known as pretarsus. The tarsus terminate into a pair of strongly curved claws, and in between the claws, a median pad-like structure is known as aroleum. At the same time, at the base of the claws, a pair of pad-like structures are there known as pulvilli. These leg pads are useful for insect when it is walking on the smooth surface, while The claws gives needed grip when the insect is walking on the rough surface. When one structure is using by insect, another structure bends upward. See different types of insect legs. In insects, legs are modified into several types based on the habitat and the food habit of the insects. In relation to the habitat, when the insect is aquatic, they develop aquatically suitable legs. When the insect is terrestrial, then they develop terrestrially suitable legs. In relation to the habitat, it's okay. In relation to the food habit, when the insect is predatory, then it's develop the legs in accordance with the predation. When the insect is herbivorous, then it's developed some other kind of leg. Now we are going to see different types of insect legs and their modifications. Ambulatorial legs. These are the walking legs. The fore and mid leg of the grasshopper are the ambulatorial leg, and these legs help in walking for the grasshopper. Saltatorial legs. These are the leaping or jumping leg. The hind leg of grasshopper is the saltatorial leg, which helps the grasshopper for jumping. Cursorial leg. These are the running legs. All the three pairs of legs of cockroach and ants are the running legs. These legs are suited for running in these insects. Scansorial legs. These are the climbing or clinging leg. All the three pairs of legs of head louse are scansorial legs, which help the head louse for climbing or clinging the hairs of host. Fossorial leg. These are the digging or burrowing legs. Four legs of the mole cricket are the fossorial legs. Raptorial leg. These are the predatory or grasping legs. The four legs of the praying mantids are raptorial legs. Natatorial legs. These are the swimming legs. The hind legs of the water bug and water beetles are natatorial legs. These legs help in swimming. These legs help in swimming of the insects. Stick legs. All the three pairs of legs of housefly are the stick's leg. The sticking leg help in attachment of the housefly to the substratum. Clasping leg. Four legs of the male water beetles are the clasping legs. These legs help in clasping the mate during the copulation. Basket legs. The legs of dragonfly and damselfly are the basket legs. These insects capture the prey and keep in their basket and feed on them later. Forageal legs. These are the food collecting legs. The hind legs of honeybees are the forageal legs. In honeybees, the four legs are useful for antennal cleaning, mid legs are useful for wax picking, and hind legs are useful for food collection. The hind legs of honeybees is provided with the pollen basket, pollen packer, and pollen comb. Now we are going to see legs in immature stage. Immature stage insect consisting of two types of legs. They are thoracic legs or true legs, abdominal legs or prolegs or pseudo legs. The thoracic legs are calling has two legs because these legs come into the adult stage. The abdominal legs are known as pseudo legs because they last in larval or pupal stage only. They do not come in adult stage. The abdominal prolegs are unjointed, short, fleshy structures which are provided with the flat surface at the bottom is known as the planta. A number of hook-like structure on the planta is known as crotchets, and these crotchets help in clinging and crawling on the surface of the substratum. These crotchets are absent in softfly larvae, hence the softfly larvae fall easily when we touch it. Larval classification based on the position of the proleg. See, this is the insect head and thorax. Generally, the thoracic legs are three pairs. These are commonly present in all insect larvae. But see in the abdomen, a pair of proleg is present in the 6th and 10th abdominal segment. Due to the absence of the legs in between the thoracic and 6th pair of abdominal leg, this insect forms a big loop when it is walking. That's why we are calling it as looper. See here, this is the insect head and three pairs of thoracic legs. And this insect containing proleg on 5th, 6th and 10th abdominal segment. Due to the absence of the legs in between thoracic and 5th abdominal leg, this insect forms a small loop-like structure when it is walking. That's why we are calling it as semi-looper. In caterpillars, the prolegs are present on 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 10th abdominal segments. Now we are going to see about female genital structure. Female genital structure is situated on the ventral side of 8th and 9th abdominal segment. The female genital structure or ovipositor contain three pairs of valves or valvulae. See here, this is the first pair of valve, second pair of valve and third pair of valve. Actually, from the base of the 8th segment, valve for 1 will be generated and it gives off a pair of valvulae. That is the first valve. Similarly, from the base of the 9th segment, valve for 2 will be originated and it gives up each of a pair of valvulae 2 and valvulae 3. Valvulae 2 and valvulae 3. See, this is the valvulae 2 and valvulae 3 pairs. See here also in vertical section, this is the first pair of valve. This is the first pair of valve or valvulae, and this is the second pair of valve or valvulae, and this is the third pair of valve or valvulae. Now we are going to see about male genital structure. This is the male genital structure of the click beetle, which is belong to the order Coleoptera and family Elateridae. The whole organ, the whole copulatory organ of higher insect is known as adagus. This adagus help in insemination. In addition to the insemination, it also helps in clasping and providing sensory stimulation to the female insect. Typically, the adagus contain a tubular structure is known as penis. Penis internally contain a tube-like structure is known as endophallus, and this endophallus is aborted during the insemination. The ejaculatory duct opens at the tip of either penis or endophallus. The lateral lobe-like structure, the lateral lobe-like structure to the penis are known as the parameres, and these parameres help in clasping and providing sensory stimulation to the female insects. See here the ninth abdominal segment of the bristle tile and their reproductive organs. Thank you. Good morning, my dear friends. In this session, we are going to discuss about insect antenna. Insect antenna are also known as feelers because they feel the surrounding environment. Insect antennae are paired, highly mobile and segmented structures. Antennae are located between or behind the compound eyes. See here a pair of antennae which are locating in between the compound eyes. The antenna is set in a socket of the cranium is known as antennal socket. The base of the antenna is connected to the edge of the socket by means of an articulatory membrane, and this membrane permits the free movement of antenna. Antenna consisting of three parts, they are scape, pedicel and flagellum. The basal segment of the antenna is known as scape. It is conspicuously larger than succeeding segments. The second segment of the antenna is known as pedicel, which immediately follows the scape. The pedicel bears a mass of sense cells known as Johnston organs, and these Johnston organs are used as cardotonal organ in some of the insects like mosquitoes. Cardotonal organs are the structures which detect wide range of mechanical stimuli. Both scape and pedicels are provided with intrinsic muscle. The scape and pedicel provided with intrinsic muscle. Intrinsic muscles are the muscles of the body that occurs deep within the structures. The remaining antennal segments are combinedly known as flagellum or clavola, which lacks individual muscles. Surface of the flagellum is provided with many sensory receptors that are innervated by the deuterocerebrum of the brain. Flagellum may vary in size and form in different insects. Functions of antenna. Antenna is useful to detect chemicals, including food and pheromones. Pheromones are the chemicals secreted into air by one sex to attract opposite sex, and it is generally secreted by female insects. Antenna perceives smell, humidity changes, variation in temperature, vibration, wind velocity, and direction. Antenna is useful to pursue the forward environment and detect danger. It is useful for hearing in mosquitoes and communication in ants. Rarely, it is also useful to clasp the mate in fleas and grasp the prey in some other insects. Types of antenna. There are several types of antennas. Now we are going to discuss one by one. Cetaceous or bristle-like antennae. In this type of antennae, the size of the segment decreases from base to the apex. See here, basal segments are somewhat larger and its size is decreasing from base to the apex. Cetaceous antennae found in cockroach, leafhopper, dragonfly and damselfly. Filiform antennae are thread-like antennae. In filiform antennae, the antennal segments are usually cylindrical and thickness of segment thickness of segments remains same throughout the length of the antenna. And this filiform antennae found in grasshoppers. Moniliform antennae are beaded antennae. In this type of antennae, the antennal segments are either globular or spherical with prominent constriction in between the segments. Moniliform antennae found in termites. See, this is the moniliform antenna. Serrate antenna or saw-like antenna. In this type of antennae, the antennal segment have short triangular projection on one side. Serrate type of antenna found in jewel beetle and longicorn beetle. Unipectinate antenna or one-side comb-like antenna. In this type of antenna, the antennal segment bears long, slender lateral processes on one side. Unipectinate antenna found in sawflies. Bipectinate antennae or two-side comb-like antenna. In this type of antenna, the antennal segment bears long, slender lateral processes on both sides. See the lateral processes on both sides. Bipectinate antennae found in silkworm moth. Clavate or clubbed antenna. In this type of antenna, the antennal segment enlarges gradually towards the tip. See here, antennal segments size is increasing gradually towards the tip. And clavate antenna is found in blister beetle. Capitate or knobed antenna. In this type of antenna, the terminal segment become enlarged suddenly. See here, the terminal segments enlarge suddenly. Capitate antenna is found in butterflies. Lamellate or plate-like antenna. In this type of antenna, the antennal tip is expanded laterally on one side and form plate-like structure. See here, plate-like structure. Lamellate antenna or plate-like antenna found in lamellicorn beetle. Aristate antenna. In this type of antennae, the terminal segment is enlarged and bears a conspicuous dorsal bristle known as arista, and the aristate antenna found in houseflies. Stylate antenna. In this type of antenna, the terminal segment bear a style-like process. That's why we calling it as stylate antenna. Stylate antenna found in horsefly and robberfly. Plumose or feathery antenna. Antenna is highly feathery and antennal segment bears long whorls of hairs. Plumose antenna found in male mosquito. Pilose or hairy antenna. Antenna is less feathery with few hairs at the junction of flagellomeres. Pilose antenna found in female mosquitoes. Geniculate or elbowed antenna. In this type of antenna, the scape is long and remaining all the segments are small and which are arranged at an angle to the first segment, that is scape, and gives the appearance of an elbow joint. Geniculate antenna found in ants, weevils, and honeybees. Flabellate or fan-like or tongue-like antenna. In this type of antennae, the segment of flagellum are modified into long, thick, fan or tongue-like projections. Flabellate antennae found in Strepsiptera stylopids. All insects except Procera possess a pair of antennae, that is, in Procera antennae are absent. Antennae are also absent in class Arachnida. Procerons are the blind insects because they do not possess any eyes and antennae. Two pairs of antennae are present in crustaceans. Antennae are well developed in adults and poorly developed in immature stages. Johnston organs are absent in Typlura and Columbola. Thank you.
Good morning, my dear friends. Welcome you all to the today's presentation topic, classification of insects. आज हम पढ़ेंगे क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ इंसेक्ट्स। किसी सब्जेक्ट का बेस माना जाता है क्लासिफिकेशन। एक बार आपको क्लासिफिकेशन समझ में आ गया ना, बाद में आने वाला सब्जेक्ट ऑटोमेटिकली समझ में आ जाने लगेगा। इस लेक्चर में मैं कवर किया हूँ व्हाट इज क्लासिफिकेशन, ब्रीफ इंफॉर्मेशन रिगार्डिंग kingdom Animalia and phylum Arthropoda. Then classes of phylum Arthropoda with example and images. Then general things related to the class Insecta. classification of class insecta orders with example and images, brief information regarding metamorphosis, and at the end few questions related to this topic. आप लोगों को एंटोमोलॉजी सब्जेक्ट हार्ड लगता है ना? इस लेक्चर देखने के बाद आप खुद बोलेंगे एंटोमोलॉजी सब्जेक्ट इतना इजी होता है क्या? चलो फिर अपन देखेंगे अभी क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ इंसेक्ट्स। मैं आप लोगों को हर बार बोल रहा हूं कि आप शुरू से लेकर लास्ट तक ईच एंड एवरी वीडियोस को कंप्लीटली देखो। इस बात का इम्पोर्टेंस अभी ये लेक्चर में आपको पता चल जाएगा। मैं क्यों हर बार बोल रहा हूं आपको हर लेक्चर को देखा बोल के। अभी हम देखेंगे क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ इंसेक्ट्स। उसमें से पहला टर्म है क्लासिफिकेशन। ऑलरेडी मैं पढ़ा चुका हूँ क्लासिफिकेशन क्या होता है, टैक्सॉन क्या होता है, कैटेगरी क्या होता है, ये सब कुछ प्रीवियस वीडियोस में पढ़ा चुका हूँ। लेकिन और एक बार इधर थोड़ा थोड़ा कॉपी एंड पेस्ट किया हूँ, क्यों बोले तो आपको अच्छा से समझ में आए। इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि आप पहले प्रीवियस वीडियोस को देखो, बाद में अगले आने वाले वीडियोस को देखो, तो आप लोगों को अच्छा से समझ में आएगा। तो अभी देखेंगे हम क्लासिफिकेशन। क्लासिफिकेशन क्या होता है? अरेंजमेंट ऑफ द ऑर्गेनिज्म into convenient taxon or categories of taxonomic hierarchy based on easily observable character is known as classification. Then what is taxon? एक ग्रुप ऑफ ऑर्गेनिज्म है ना, इसको ही हम बोलेंगे टैक्सॉन। ग्रुप ऑफ ऑर्गेनिज्म ऑफ आइदर सेम और डिफरेंट स्पीसीज इज नोन एज टैक्सॉन। Then what is taxonomic category? Overall representation of organism of a taxon. Overall representation of organism of a taxon into a simple unit is known as taxonomic category. अभी देखो हम किंगडम एनिमलिया एक टैक्सोनॉमिक कैटेगरी है। किंगडम एनिमलिया बोले तो हम लोगों को इसमें ये सब कुछ ऑर्गेनिज्म इंक्लूड होता है बोल के पता चलता है ना। तो ये सिंपल यूनिट में रिप्रेजेंट किया है ना, उसे ही बोलेंगे हम कैटेगरी। ओवरऑल रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ ऑर्गेनिज्म ऑफ ए टैक्सॉन इनटू ए सिंपल यूनिट इज नोन एज कैटेगरी। If a taxon is composed of organism of several different species, then it is represented by a simple unit, that is highest category, kingdom. For example, अभी इसमें सेम स्पीसीज ही होगा, सभी हनीबीस 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 होगा, तो हम इसे लोवेस्ट कैटेगरी स्पीसीज से रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे। आप लोगों को पता है क्या? living things are divided into 5 kingdoms. Those are Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. This 5 kingdom concept was proposed by Whitaker. याद रखो, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। नेक्स्ट देखेंगे हम किंगडम एनिमालिया के बारे में। इसके पहले हम इसको एक बार डिस्कस कर लेंगे। स्पीसीज टैक्सोनॉमिक hierarchy consisting of 7 obligate categories. Those are species, genus, family, order, class, phylum and kingdom. Species में क्या रहता है? Species contain all the similar organisms which can interbreed and produce offsprings. Genus में क्या होता है? Contains all the organism of related species. डिफरेंट डिफरेंट रिलेटेड स्पीसीज है ना, फॉर एग्जांपल एपिस डोर्साटा, एपिस मेलिफेरा, एपिस सेरेना इंडिका, ये सब कुछ इसमें आता है। उसके बाद फैमिली में क्या होता है? ऑल द ऑर्गेनिज्म ऑफ रिलेटेड जीनस। एट द सेम टाइम किंगडम में रहता है ऑल द ऑर्गेनिज्म ऑफ रिलेटेड फाइला। डिफरेंट डिफरेंट फाइलास होते हैं ना, टोटल 36 फाइला है। उस फाइला का ऑर्गेनिज्म किसमें इंक्लूड होता है? दैट इज इन हाईएस्ट टैक्सोनॉमिक कैटेगरी किंगडम एनिमलिया में प्लेस करते हैं। किंगडम एनिमलिया में हम उसे अरेंजमेंट करते हैं, इसको ही हम बोलेंगे टैक्सोनॉमी। अमंग ऑल दोस 5 kingdoms, किंगडम एनिमलिया इज द लार्जेस्ट वन। क्वेश्चन हो सकता है विच इज द लार्जेस्ट किंगडम among the among the 5 kingdom proposed by the विटेकर। तो आप बोलना चाहिए किंगडम एनिमलिया। किंगडम एनिमलिया इज द हाईएस्ट टैक्सोनॉमिक कैटेगरी, बोला होना हाईएस्ट टैक्सोनॉमिक कैटेगरी। इट इज कंपोज्ड ऑफ ऑर्गेनिज्म ऑफ रिलेटेड फाइलम्स, डिफरेंट फाइलम्स का ऑर्गेनिजम्स इसमें मौजूद होता है। अभी तक 36 रिकॉग्नाइज्ड फाइला एनिमल किंगडम में है। तो इसमें से इम्पॉर्टेंट वाला है, एक कोड बनाया हूँ आपके लिए मैं, पन हाम एक है। प्लाटीहेलमिन्थिस, नेमाटोडा, annelida, arthropoda, mollusca, echinodermata, chordata are the most important and contain the vast majority of described extant species। तो इसमें से नेमाटोडा भी हम लोगों को पढ़ना पड़ेगा। एट द सेम टाइम एनालिड्स के बारे में हम ऑलरेडी, एर्थवर्म एनालिड्स में आता है एर्थवर्म, इसके बारे में हम ऑलरेडी 11वीं 12वीं में पढ़े हैं। अभी तो हम आर्थ्रोपोडा के बारे में डिस्कस ही करने वाला है। तो अभी देखेंगे हम फाइलम आर्थ्रोपोडा। आर्थ्रोपोडा, द टर्म आर्थ्रोपोडा का मीन होता है जॉइंटेड लेग। अभी देखो ये इंसेक्ट का लेग है, इधर जॉइंट है, इधर जॉइंट है, इधर जॉइंट है, इधर भी जॉइंट है। इसीलिए हम इंसेक्ट को फाइलम आर्थ्रोपोडा में अरेंजमेंट किया है। फाइलम आर्थ्रोपोडा इज कंपोज्ड ऑफ ऑर्गेनिज्म ऑफ रिलेटेड क्लासेस सच एज टोकामी, या अनदर कोड है आपके लिए। देखो इधर फाइलम, इट इंक्लूड ऑल द ऑर्गेनिज्म ऑफ रिलेटेड क्लासेस। इसमें कौन सा क्लासेस हो सकता है, टोकामी। इधर दिया हूँ वो कोड टोकामी, और उसका एक्सपेंशन इधर दिया हूँ। टी मतलब ट्राइलोबाइटा, ओ इंडिकेट करता है ओनिकोफोरा, सी इंडिकेट करता है क्रस्टेशियन, ए इंडिकेट करता है अराक्निडा, एम इंडिकेट करता है मिरियोपोडा, आई इंडिकेट करता है इंसेक्टा और हेक्सोपोडा। तो ट्राइलोबाइटा एन एक्सटिंक्ट ग्रुप है, ये इंपॉर्टेंट रखो। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग क्लास ऑफ फाइलम आर्थ्रोपोडा इज एक्सटिंक्ट वन। एक्सटिंक्ट मतलब इसका स्पीसीज खत्म हो जा रहा है इस जमीन से, हो गए भी ऑलरेडी। तो उसके लिए आप आंसर देना चाहिए ट्राइलोबाइटा, इसका एग्जाम्पल है ट्राइलोबाइट्स। अनिकोफोरा में आता है पेरिपैटस। क्रस्टेशियंस में आता है प्रॉन्स, क्रब्स, लोबस्टर्स एंड वुडलाउस। अरकनिडा में आता है स्कॉर्पियंस, स्पाइडर्स, टिक्स एंड माइट्स। अराक्निडा क्लास है ना, इस क्लास का ऑर्गेनिज्म में अंटेना नहीं होते हैं। अराक्निडा क्लास ऑर्गेनिजम्स आर विदाउट अंटेना। अभी देखेंगे हम मिरियोपोडा का एग्जांपल, दैट इज इट इज डिवाइडेड इनटू टू सब फाइलम्स। इट इज डिवाइडेड इनटू टू सब क्लासेस एक्चुअली। Here subclasses, that is one chilopoda, example centipedes. Second one is diplopoda, example is millipede. क्लास इंसेक्टा में आता है इंसेक्ट्स। तो आप इसमें से क्लास का नाम, उसका एग्जाम्पल याद रखना चाहिए। तो आपको इजी करने के लिए मैं क्लासेस का नाम, उसका एग्जाम्पल इमेजेस के साथ दिखाया हूँ। चलो देखेंगे फिर एक बार अपन। ये है क्लास ट्राइलोबाइटा, एक्सटिंक्ट ग्रुप ऑफ ऑर्गेनिज्म है, ये उसका इमेज है। इमेज के साथ पढ़े तो आप कभी भी नहीं भूल सकते हैं। उसके बाद क्लास अनिकोफोरा, इसका एग्जाम्पल है पेरिपैटस, इसे हम वेलवेट वार्म भी बोल सकते हैं। उसके बाद क्लास क्रस्टेसिया है, इसमें आता है प्रॉन्स, क्रब्स, लोबस्टर्स, वुडलाउस एटसेट्रा। उसके बाद क्लास अराक्निडा, क्लास अराक्निडा में आता है स्कॉर्पियन, स्पाइडर, टिक्स एंड माइट्स। अभी हम देखेंगे क्लास मिरियोपोडा। क्लास मिरियोपोडा इज डिवाइडेड इनटू two subclasses, that is one chilopoda and another one is diplopoda. चिलोपोडा के लिए एग्जाम्पल है सेंटीपेड्स, डिप्लोपोडा के लिए एग्जाम्पल है मिलीपेड्स। ये सब कुछ इमेजेस आप लोग देखे हैं, लेकिन इसका नाम सेंटीपेड है, इसका नाम मिलीपेड्स है बोल के पता नहीं था ना। इसीलिए इमेज को देखने के बाद अपने को ऑलरेडी अपना सब्जेक्ट ऑटोमेटिकली इम्प्रूव हो जाता है। अभी देखेंगे हम क्लास इंसेक्टा। क्लास इंसेक्टा में डिफरेंट इंसेक्ट्स आता है, बीटल्स, बटरफ्लाइज, मॉथ्स, ग्रासहोपर, ड्रैगन फ्लाई एटसेट्रा। इसके बारे में तो हम इन डिटेल्स में देखने वाला है आगे आने वाला स्लाइड में। तो अभी अपन जितना पढ़े उसमें से क्वेश्चन कैसा हो सकता है आपके लिए। प्रॉन्स बिलोंग टू द क्लास, कौन सा क्लास को बिलोंग्स करते हैं प्रॉन्स, बोलो। इट्स बिलोंग टू द क्लास क्रस्टेशियन। एग्जाम्पल फॉर क्लास अराक्निडा। अराक्निडा में क्या क्या आता है, स्पाइडर आता क्या, स्कॉर्पियन आता क्या, टिक्स आता क्या, माइट्स आता क्या, यस, ये सब कुछ ऑर्गेनिजम्स अराक्निडा में इंक्लूड हुए हैं। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, क्लास ऑफ फाइलम आर्थ्रोपोडा विच इज विदाउट एंटेना। तो इसका आंसर है, ऑलरेडी आपको बता चुका हूं मैं, अराक्निडा। अभी देखेंगे अपन डिटेल्स अबाउट क्लास इंसेक्टा। तो क्लास इंसेक्टा इज द लार्जेस्ट क्लास ऑफ फाइलम आर्थ्रोपोडा। ए फाइलम आर्थ्रोपोडा इंक्लूड्स ऑल द ऑर्गेनिज्म ऑफ रिलेटेड क्लासेस था ना, टोकामी क्लासेस बोला था मैं, टोकामी लास्ट में आई है ना इंसेक्टा। तो इंसेक्टा इज द लार्जेस्ट क्लास ऑफ फाइलम आर्थ्रोपोडा। सी दिस इज द लार्जेस्ट क्लास। इंसेक्ट्स आर मोस्टली टेरेस्ट्रियल, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इंसेक्ट ज़मीन के ऊपर ही रहते हैं, मगर एक्सेप्शंस भी है कि वाटर में भी रह सकता है aquatic insects. The body of the insect is divided into three regions, that is head, thorax and abdomen. Head is 6 segmented, thorax is 3 segmented, abdomen is 9 to 11 segmented. ये number of segments याद रखो, very important है। इंसेक्ट्स में ए पेयर ऑफ कंपाउंड है एंड ए पेयर ऑफ एंटेना भी होता है। इंसेक्ट्स में 2 पेयर्स ऑफ विंग्स होता है, 3 पेयर्स ऑफ लेग्स होता है, इसीलिए हम इसे हेक्सोपोडा बोले हैं। इंसेक्ट्स रेस्पायर थ्रू ट्राकिया, ये रेस्पिरेटरी ऑर्गन्स इधर दिख रहे हैं ना, ये स्पाइरकिल्स है, ये स्पाइरकिल्स इनसाइड इनसाइड कनेक्ट होता है ट्राकिया के साथ। इंसेक्ट में मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन्स लोकेटेड होता है नाइन्थ अब्डोमिनल सेगमेंट, फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन्स लोकेटेड होता है ऑन 8th एंड 9th अब्डोमिनल सेगमेंट के ऊपर। अभी देखेंगे हम क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ इंसेक्ट। The widely accepted classification of insect was proposed by eminent insect taxonomist A.D. Ims। इंपॉर्टेंट है, याद रखो। क्लास इंसेक्टा में टोटल 29 ऑर्डर्स हैं। इंसेक्ट्स आर क्लासिफाइड मेनली ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ विंग्स। विंग्स को कंसिडर करते हुए ही ये क्लास इंसेक्टा को 29 ऑर्डर्स में क्लासिफाई किया है। अभी देखो, एक क्लास इंसेक्टा है, क्लास इंसेक्टा इज divided into subclass 1 Aterygota, mean insects without wings, subclass 2 Pterygota, means insects with wings। तो subclass 2 Pterygota is again divided into division 1, that is Exopterygota, एंड डिवीजन टू एंडोप्टेरिगोटा। फिर एक्सोप्टेरिगोटा और एंडोप्टेरिगोटा का मतलब क्या है? एक्सोप्टेरिगोटा मतलब इंसेक्ट का विंग्स आउटसाइड रहता है ना। तो हाँ, सभी के इंसेक्ट में तो हम अभी तक देखे हैं आउटसाइड ही होते हैं। एंडोप्टेरिगोटा मतलब इंसेक्ट का विंग इनसाइड होते क्या है? वो था, इंसेक्ट का विंग इनसाइड होता है क्या? नहीं, एक्चुअली इमेच्योर स्टेज में हम ऑब्जर्व किया तो हमको एक्सोप्टेरिगोटा इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर में विंग बर्ड आउटसाइड अपीयर होता है, लेकिन इन एंडोप्टेरिगोटा इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर में इमेच्योर स्टेज में विंग बर्ड आउटसाइड अपीयर नहीं होता है, इसीलिए हम इसे एंडोप्टेरिगोट इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर बोल के नाम दिया है। अभी देखेंगे अपन क्लास इंसेक्टा का 29 ऑर्डर्स। सब क्लास 1 एटेरिगोटा, इसमें टोटली 4 ऑर्डर है, दैट इज टीडीपीसी। इसके लिए कोड है टीडीपीसी, थाइजन्यूरा, डाइप्लूरा, प्रोच्यूरा एंड कोलम्बोला। Subclass 2 Pterygota is divided into division 1 that is Exopterygota। Exopterygota का ऑलरेडी मतलब बता दिया हूँ। डिवीजन 2 Endopterygota, Endopterygota का भी मतलब बता दिया हूँ। तो अभी देखेंगे हम Exopterygota का 16 ऑर्डर्स, दैट इज OE, PG, GP, MS, पेड, ऑडिट। ये हो गया 16 एक्सोप्टेरिगोट ऑर्डर्स। ओ इंडिकेट करता है ओडोनाटा, ई एफिमेरोप्टेरा, पी प्लेकोप्टेरा, जी ग्रिलोब्लाटोडिया, जेड जोरोप्टेरा, पी सोकोप्टेरा, एम मल्लोफैगा, एस साइफांकुलाटा, पी क्वास्मिडा, ई एम्बायोप्टेरा, डी डर्मोप्टेरा। ऑडिट, ऑड इट, ओ ऑर्थोप्टेरा, डी डिप्टियोप्टेरा, आई आइसोप्टेरा, टी थाइजोनोप्टेरा, एच हेमिप्टेरा। तो इसको याद करने के लिए मैं आपको एक लॉजिक बताता हूँ। एक दो स्टूडेंट्स है, एमएससी का स्टूडेंट्स है, ये इसको बोल रहा है कि ओई पीजी का जीपी मास्टर स्टूडेंट के लिए स्ट्रांग पेड़ के जैसा होता है, तो उसको ऐड कर लो यार अच्छे से पढ़ाई करके, वैसा बोल रहा है। ओई एमएससी का जीपी, ओई पीजी का जीपी मास्टर स्टूडेंट्स के लिए पेड़ के जैसा होता है, उसे ऐड कर लो, ऑडिट। अभी देखेंगे हम एंडोप्टेरिगोटा ऑर्डर्स, LHCD SMS टन। एल इंडिकेट करता है लेपिडोप्टेरा, एच इंडिकेट करता है हाइमनोप्टेरा, सी इंडिकेट करता है कोलियोप्टेरा, डी इंडिकेट करता है डिप्टेरा, एस साइफनोप्टेरा, एम मेकोप्टेरा, एस स्ट्रेप्सिप्टेरा, टी ट्राइकोप्टेरा, एन न्यूरोप्टेरा। इसके लिए भी आपको एक लॉजिक बताता हूँ मैं। आपका मोबाइल का नाम है LHCD, इसको SMS आया तो कैसा बोलेंगे? टन बोल के बोलता है ना, तो वही बोला हूँ LHCD SMS टन। वैसा लॉजिक बताने के लिए एक रीजन है, वो आगे आने वाले स्लाइड में आपको पता चल जाएगा। अभी हम डिस्कस करेंगे ब्रीफली अबाउट मेटामॉर्फोसिस। मेटामॉर्फोसिस के बारे में हम आगे चल के एक सेपरेट लेक्चर लेंगे, लेकिन अभी यहाँ क्लैरिटी के लिए हम ब्रीफली डिस्कस करेंगे। मेटामॉर्फोसिस का मतलब क्या होता है? चेंज इन फॉर्म is known as metamorphosis. Egg is hatched into larva. Larva is molted into pupa. Pupa is differentiated into adult. Adult reproduce eggs. अभी देखो, ये एक adult है, adult नहीं तो ये eggs है। eggs क्या होता है? hatch होके larva देता है, larva molt होके pupa देता है, प्यूपा डिफ्रेंसिएशन होके अडल्ट देता है। अडल्ट क्या करता है? रिप्रोड्यूस करेगा एग्स को। तो इसका फॉर्म इसका फॉर्म चेंज है कि नहीं है? इंसेक्ट को ग्रोथ करने के लिए वैसा चेंज करना कंपलसरी है। वही तो बोला हूँ, चेंज इन फॉर्म इज नोन एज मेटामॉर्फोसिस। तो अभी देखेंगे हम ए मेटामॉर्फोसिस, हेमी मेटामॉर्फोसिस, होलो मेटामॉर्फोसिस। ये मेटामॉर्फोसिस मतलब देर इज नो चेंज इन फॉर्म। अभी देखो ये इमेच्योर सिल्वर फिश है, ये मेच्योर सिल्वर फिश है, इसका फॉर्म में कोई चेंज आया क्या? नहीं आया, इसलिए हम बोलेंगे इसको ए मेटामॉर्फोसिस। अभी देखेंगे हम हेमी मेटामॉर्फोसिस। अभी देखो इसमें ये एग्स हैं, एग से निम्फ आया, निम्फ से अडल्ट आया, तो इसमें प्यूपल स्टेज है क्या? नहीं है। कितना स्टेजेस है? ओनली 3, 1 2 3। Hemimetamorphosis or hemimetabola insect have only 3 life stages, that is egg, nymph and adult. There is no pupal stage, that's why we called it as incomplete metamorphosis. इसमें इमेच्योर स्टेज को हम बुलाएंगे nymph। अभी देखेंगे हम होलो मेटामॉर्फोसिस। होलो मेटामॉर्फोसिस में देखो कितना स्टेजेस है? 4 स्टेजेस है ना, प्यूपल स्टेज है ना, इसीलिए हम कंप्लीट मेटामॉर्फोसिस भी बोल सकते हैं इसको। होलो मेटाबॉलस इंसेक्ट का इमेच्योर स्टेज को हम बोलेंगे लार्वे। हियर इमेच्योर स्टेज ऑफ हेमी मेटाबॉलस इंसेक्ट को क्या बोले? इट इज ए निम्फ। अभी आपको मैं क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ, टाइप ऑफ मेटामॉर्फोसिस इन रेड कॉटन बग, टाइप ऑफ मेटामॉर्फोसिस इन हनी बी, टाइप ऑफ मेटामॉर्फोसिस इन सिल्वर फिश। तो अभी देखेंगे हम आंसर इसका। रेड कॉटन बग में हेमी मेटामॉर्फोसिस होता है, हनी बीस में होलो मेटामॉर्फोसिस होता है, सिल्वर फिश में नो मेटामॉर्फोसिस होता है। अभी तो हम ये खाली 3 इंसेक्ट के लिए आंसर को रट्टा मार लेंगे, लेकिन टोटल 29 ऑर्डर्स को याद रखने के लिए कैसा करेंगे? ये तो दिमाग खराब करने वाला काम हो गया ना। तो कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है आप टेंशन लेने का। इसके लिए भी आपके लिए मैं एक लॉजिक बनाया हूँ। आपको ऑलरेडी बोला हूँ मैं, क्लास इंसेक्टा इज डिवाइडेड इनटू सब क्लास 1 एटेरिगोटा एंड सब क्लास 2 टेरिगोटा। एटेरिगोटा में टोटल कितना ऑर्डर्स है? 4 ऑर्डर है, दैट इज TDPC। इस चारों ऑर्डर में ए मेटामॉर्फोसिस होता है, देयर इज नो चेंज इन द फॉर्म इन दी एटेरिगोट इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर्स। इसीलिए आप TDPC बोल के कोड याद रखो, उसके साथ साथ ए मेटामॉर्फोसिस बोल के याद रखो। एट द सेम टाइम आपको बोला हूँ टेरिगोटा सब क्लास इज डिवाइडेड इनटू डिवीजन 1 एक्सोप्टेरिगोटा एंड डिवीजन 2 एंडोप्टेरिगोटा। तो डिवीजन 1 एक्सोप्टेरिगोटा में टोटली 16 ऑर्डर्स है, दैट इज OE, PG, GP, MS, पेड, ऑडिट। तो इस 16 ऑर्डर्स में, इस 16 ऑर्डर्स में हेमी मेटामॉर्फोसिस होता है। तो आप ये कोड याद रखो, वही PG, GP, MS, पेड, ऑडिट, उसके साथ साथ याद रखो हेमी मेटामॉर्फोसिस। देखे है ना, ये कोड का इंपॉर्टेंस पता चल रहा है ना। ये कोड याद है तो हम इस सभी का आंसर हेमी मेटामॉर्फोसिस कर सकते हैं। अभी देखेंगे हम एंडोप्टेरिगोट ऑर्डर, दैट इज LHCD SMS 10। इस 9 ऑर्डर में, इस सभी 9 ऑर्डर में होलो मेटामॉर्फोसिस होता है, कंप्लीटली चेंज इन फॉर्म होता है। तो आप यहाँ याद रखो LHCD SMS 10 के साथ होलो मेटामॉर्फोसिस। अभी हम देखेंगे क्लास इंसेक्टा का ऑर्डर्स, दैट इज एक्सोप्टेरिगोटा, एंडोप्टेरिगोटा एंड एटेरिगोटा ऑर्डर्स विथ एग्जांपल एंड इमेजेस के साथ। यहाँ से आपको क्वेश्चन हो सकता है कि आर्डर का नाम देके उसका एग्जाम्पल पूछ सकता है, नहीं तो एग्जाम्पल देके उसका आर्डर का नाम बताओ बोल के पूछ सकता है। तो हम पहले देखेंगे अभी क्लास इंसेक्टस एटेरिगोट ऑर्डर्स। एटेरिगोट ऑर्डर्स कितना है? 4 है। एटेरिगोट ऑर्डर्स कौन सा? टीडीपीसी। इसमें मेटामॉर्फोसिस होता क्या? नहीं होता है, नो मेटामॉर्फोसिस। ये है पहला टी इंडिकेट थाइजन्यूरा, उसका एग्जाम्पल है सिल्वर फिश एंड फायरब्राड्स। इस इंसेक्ट को आप देखे नहीं क्या? बुक में से और कपड़ा में से निकल के उधर इधर भागता रहता है, लेकिन आप इमेजेस को नहीं देखे उसके नाम के साथ, इसीलिए आप लोगों को एंटोमोलॉजी सब्जेक्ट हार्ड लगता है। अभी देखो ये वीडियो देखने के बाद आप खुद बुक लेके पढ़े तो भी आपको समझ में आ जाने लगेगा एंटोमोलॉजी सब्जेक्ट। उसके बाद डी इंडिकेट्स, टीडीपीसी है ना, डी इंडिकेट्स डाइप्लूरान ऑर्डर। इसका एग्जाम्पल होता है डाइप्लूरान्स और जापिजिड्स। उसके बाद नेक्स्ट ऑर्डर है प्रोचुरा। एग्जाम्पल है प्रोचुरान्स और टेल्सेंटाइल। दिस insect orders without eyes and antenna, hence we call them blind insect भी बोल सकते हैं हम इसे। इसके पहले आपको मैं बता चुका हूँ क्लास का नाम। एक क्लास है विदाउट एंटेना, दैट इज अराक्निडा। यहाँ पे बता रहा हूँ ये इंसेक्ट का ऑर्डर है विदाउट एंटेना इज प्रोचुरा, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, नोट डाउन इट। अभी देखेंगे हम कोलम्बोला। कोलम्बोला में आता है एग्जाम्पल स्प्रिंग टेल और स्नोफ्लिया। अभी हम देख लिया है एटेरिगोट इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर। अभी हम देखेंगे एक्सोप्टेरिगोट इंसेक्ट्स ऑर्डर, दैट इज OEPGGP, MS पेड ऑडिट एंड एंडोप्टेरिगोट इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर्स LHCD SMS टन। तो फर्स्ट हम देखेंगे एक्सोप्टेरिगोट इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर्स, दैट इज OEPGGP, MS पेड ऑडिट। ये ग्रीन से मार्क क्यों किया बोले तो आप लोग ये सब कुछ नहीं याद किया तो मिनिमम ये तो पक्का याद करना पड़ेगा। दिस आर इकोनॉमिकली इंपॉर्टेंट इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर्स। OE, O indicates odonata, example dragonfly and damselfly. E indicate ephemeroptera, example mayfly. P indicate plecoptera, example stonefly. Grylloblattoidea, rock crawler, example. Zoroptera, example Zoropterans. This is the smallest insect order. Which is the smallest insects order? It is the Zoroptera. Next, Socoptera, example है book lice और sockids. Mallophaga, एग्जाम्पल है बर्ड लाइस। हेंस का लाइस होता है ना, जैसा ह्यूमन का लाइस होता है, ये है मल्लोफागा का एग्जाम्पल। उसके बाद साइफांकुलाटा हेडलाउस, ह्यूमन बीइंग का हेड्स में होता है ना। उसके बाद है फास्मिडा, इसमें आता है एग्जाम्पल स्टिक इंसेक्ट एंड लीफ इंसेक्ट। उसके बाद ऑर्डर है अम्बायोप्टेरा, इसका एग्जाम्पल है वेब स्पिनर। उसके बाद ऑर्डर है डर्मोप्टेरा, इसका एग्जाम्पल है एयरविग्स। इस इंसेक्ट को नहीं देखे क्या आप? देखे हैं, ये उधर से इधर भागता रहता है ना। अभी देखो ग्रीन वाला ऑर्डर्स आ गए हैं, इकोनॉमिकली इंपॉर्टेंट ऑर्डर्स है। ऑर्थोप्टेरा एग्जाम्पल है ग्रासहॉपर, लोकस्ट, क्रिकेट एंड मोल क्रिकेट। अभी देखेंगे हम डिक्टियोप्टेरा। डिक्टियोप्टेरा में आता है कॉकरोच एंड मैंटिड्स। नेक्स्ट ऑर्डर इज टर्माइट्स। नेक्स्ट ऑर्डर इज आइसोप्टेरा, एग्जाम्पल इज टर्माइट। नेक्स्ट ऑर्डर इज थाइजोनोप्टेरा, एग्जाम्पल इज थ्रिप्स। Next order is Hemiptera, which is again divided into Homoptera and Heteroptera. Heteroptera means wings look divided. Heteroptera, hetero mean not alike. इधर देखो विंग्स मेम्ब्रेनस है, इधर समवाट थिक है। तो हेटेरोप्टेरा में आता है एग्जाम्पल बग्स, होमोप्टेरा में आता है एग्जाम्पल लीफ हॉपर, प्लांट हॉपर, व्हाइट फ्लाइज, मीली बग्स, सिकाडास, एफिड्स एटसेट्रा, स्केल इंसेक्ट्स। अभी हम देखेंगे एंडोप्टेरिगोट ऑर्डर्स, दैट इज LHCD SMS टन। LHCD ग्रीन मार्किंग किया हूँ, क्यों बोले तो ये इकोनॉमिकली इंपॉर्टेंट ऑर्डर्स है। L इंडिकेट लेपिडोप्टेरा, लेपिडोप्टेरा में आता है मॉथ्स एंड बटरफ्लाइज। उसके बाद H इंडिकेट करता है हाइमेनोप्टेरा, इसका एग्जाम्पल है हनीबीस, बम्बलबीज, वैस्प एटसेट्रा। नेक्स्ट ऑर्डर इज कोलियोप्टेरन ऑर्डर, इसका एग्जाम्पल है बीटल्स एंड वीविल्स। दिस इज द बीटल एंड दिस इज द बीटल, दिस इज द ग्रब ऑफ बीटल। सो दिस इज द कोलियोप्टेरा इज द लार्जेस्ट इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर है। विच इज द लार्जेस्ट इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर बोल के क्वेश्चन होगा आपके लिए, तो कोलियोप्टेरा इज द लार्जेस्ट इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर। इस ऑर्डर का एक फैमिली है कर्कुलियोनिडे, उसमें वीविल्स आता है, इट इज द लार्जेस्ट फैमिली होता है। उसके बाद देखेंगे हम डिप्टेरा, डिप्टेरा में आता है हाउस फ्लाई एंड मस्किटो। उसके बाद ऑर्डर आता है स्ट्रिप्सिप्टेरा, एग्जाम्पल है स्टाइलोपिड्स। उसके बाद ऑर्डर आता है मेकोप्टेरा, उसका एग्जाम्पल है स्कॉर्पियन फ्लाई। नेक्स्ट ऑर्डर है साइफोनोप्टेरा, एग्जाम्पल है फ्ली। द मोस्ट सीवियर इन्फेक्शन स्प्रेड बाय फ्ली इज प्लेग caused by the bacteria Yersinia pestis. So, flea is the vector of plague disease and murine typhus. Next order is Trichoptera, example is caddisfly. Next order is Neuroptera, example is antlion and lacewings. ये तो हो गया लेक्चर कंप्लीट। आप लोग इमेज के साथ ऑर्डर का नाम और एग्जाम्पल याद रखो। तो इधर 2-3 क्वेश्चन दिया हूँ, उसको अटेम्प्ट करो। नेम ऑफ द क्लास विदाउट अंटेना, नेम ऑफ द इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर विदाउट अंटेना, सेकंड लार्जेस्ट इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर कौन सा है? इसका आंसर आपको मिलेगा डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में। ये अपना बुक है, जो इमेजेस लिया हूँ वही बुक से लिया हूँ। इस बुक में एवरीथिंग विल बी गिवन इन दी कलर्ड इमेज फॉर्म, सभी कलर्ड इमेज फॉर्म से दिया है इस बुक में। आप इस बुक को भी रेफर कर सकते हैं। तो थैंक यू। आप लोगों को ये इंसेक्ट ऑर्डर्स विथ एग्जाम्पल एंड इमेजेस के साथ याद है तो आगे आने वाला सब्जेक्ट ऑटोमेटिकली समझ में आ जाने लगेगा। आप लोगों को कोई पढ़ाने का भी ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगा। इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि आप इस लेक्चर को 1 से 2 बार देखो और इसमें परफेक्शन करो। ओके, थैंक यू।